a tip that you could give to us newbies out there for somebody that's just getting into the junk removal business and they're looking to go all in and kind of repeat like what you did, build like scaling the business. What's something that you could give us as a tip?
Junk removal is an industry now where there's a lot of competition, so you have to stand out. You do a very good job at standing out. So I think a lot of times people could actually look at what you have going on. Fuhgeddaboutit is a great name. It stands out. Your website, if you go to it, it screams your branding. So they did a good job with, and you and them did a very good job on putting a site out that's memorable, and that's really really key. So once again, now the next step is making sure that you're found. So you're on the map listing, your map pack, your Google map listing. That's about the quickest business that you can get, that you actually don't have to pay much money for. It just takes a lot of attention. The key thing is if you can start with an address. If you can actually have a physical address listed, you're going to have an immediate advantage. And then if you're posting pictures and updates and you fill out the profile completely, if you just treat it with love, I say when it comes to Google Business Profile, treat it with love and Google will treat you back with love if you have that address. If you don't have an address, they don't really care about you. So
let me ask you this, Lee, is that something extra on top of Google My Business page that you have to get the Google Maps? Is that like an extra service on top of it?
No, it's the same thing. So GMB, Google it used to be called Google My Business, Google Maps, Google Business Profiles, what it's called now. It's all the same thing.
Okay, because I was just making sure, because that's why I went and paid and got a physical address. I went in because a lot of people are doing the virtual offices and all, and I just wanted to get a physical office. This way, I wouldn't have no problems and I would rank right away. So that's what you mean by getting ranked with the Google Maps.
Exactly. Yep. So, and you getting the physical address, I don't know what that cost you, but a good Google Maps listing, if you have a good ranking, and let's say the location you choose is important too, because depending on how competitive it is, you might only rank in like a 3 mile, 5 mile radius around your address. You might only be in the map pack in that, at least initially. So get a good address. You might spend more, but that one address, once you're in the map pack, depending on where you are, I mean, that could be $20,000-$30,000 a month in business coming from that map pack. And then all of a sudden,
I picked the middle of town. I literally went into main town and just got that because I figured that it's going to mean a lot with finding business. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you're a smart guy, and you're willing to make the investment. It seems, which is great. And then once you have that map pack ranking, so you're taking photos every day. You're making sure geolocating location settings are all on your phone. That way, Google sees, hey, these pictures are actually happening from the area that we're in. You're doing regular deals or updates. You're responding, you're getting reviews, you're asking for reviews. You have a reputation management software. Like we provide nice job to our clients. You have a reputation management software that helps you get those reviews and reminds people. And then you immediately respond to them just same day, if at all possible. Google really, really likes that. And there's about 15 other things you could be doing. But if you do those things right there, you have a physical address, chances are you'll be flirting with that map pack in a matter of time.
What about CRM? Do you work with a CRM?
Yeah, we've been with Workies for years. It was much better than what we came from before. And they were kind of innovators in the junk removal space there for a really, really long time. So Workies has been a great system for us. We're pretty heavily invested in it. They're doing some neat stuff now with AI phone answering and AI appointment bookings and stuff like that, which we're really kind of testing out. So Workies has been really, really good for us.
Have you got to try out Autopilot, Andrew Thompson's Autopilot?
I contacted Andrew. He had reached out, and I contacted him back about last week or something like that. We haven't been able to link up yet and actually take a look at it. But he seems like a smart guy. It's neat that he actually went through it. I'm interested to see what the platform's about. And, Andrew will be watching this. My concern would be, and I think anybody should just make sure, just wonder about this. Just the concern would be, is the uptime going to be really good as he scales and grows, which I think he's going to, because I think it's very reasonable in price from what I've seen. And anytime something's reasonable in price, it's going to grow fast. But the question is he going to be profitable enough with it to have the money to invest in the support and invest in the systems to really, really keep up? That's a cutthroat world. I mean, Workies has had millions and millions and millions of dollars of seed money, like to the north of like $60 million, I think, in investment money. Now, nowadays with AI, you can develop things. There's a site called like bolt.new, and there's AI development sites that give you a big heads up on building software where you can probably do stuff or you definitely can do stuff for probably a quarter of the cost, if not even a tenth of the cost, depending on what you got going on. And I don't know if he's doing any of that, or if he's just hard coding, but so it's a little easier now, but there's a lot of challenges coming up. So before I would take a $3 million a year business and spend all the money and the time, because it's a lot of effort to switch something once you're that large. Once you have some size, before I would do that, I would want to have assurances that they're going to be able to keep up, with the growth.
Yeah, I'm very interested to hear after you guys have that conversation and your thoughts on it and all. And then my other question from that is, do you believe in working with tracking numbers to, track all your marketing and all?
Yeah, I mean, we're big on conversion tracking and all, understand what comes from where. So we utilize something called CallRail. I think Andrew's system has tracking numbers. I don't know if they dynamically swap. So Workies, we don't use the Workies number tracking system because you have to, at least you used to, maybe they've changed it. You have to have one number for each advertising platform. With CallRail, it actually knows, hey, did this come from Facebook? Did they type your website in directly? Did it come from Google Organic? Did it come from Google Maps? Did it come from Google Ads? Yelp, yard sign. You can create actually independent numbers too for like yard signs and all if you wanted to. So, but it dynamically swaps that number. Yeah. So if you go on the Junk Doctor's website, it's going to show different numbers depending on where you came from. And that is how it tracks that. And that allows us to really say, hey, our Google Ads is working. We're making 3X, 4X, 5X what we're spending on it. Or, hey, this, we've had an off month or two on Google Ads. We're only making 2X. We really need to kind of refine what we're doing. Maybe if it's slow season, maybe we actually dial back what we're spending here, because at 2X, we know we can't be profitable. And until we start seeing 3X, 4X, 5X, then we start dialing it back up. And we did that this winter. So with Junk Doctors, we went from doing like last fall, summer, spring, we were like 5, 6X on our advertising spend, which is very good for Google Ads. It got into like December and January, everybody had run their bids up because they got slow. And now we're like 2X. They're like, hey, we'll dial this back a little bit. And then what happens is people ran out of money. So then we increased our budget back. The numbers went back to 6X return. And that we're back up what we needed after like a 3-week pause.
Wow, that's good to know.